Hi, I'll say that I'm Scott Forcino, an associate broker with the Exp Realty out of New York City. I have an important colleague, Nicole Merigelli.
Correct. Good one.
Correct, Merigelli, the correct pronunciation. From a fellow New Yorker, living the dream in Miami and now vacationing in St. Martin. That's what happens when you're successful and influential in your market. And she's from Brooklyn and lives in as I said, in Miami. So good morning, Nicole. I wanted to greet you and say good morning and tell me where you are.
Good morning. And I'm speaking with you today from beautiful St. Martin. I don't know if you can see how
Can you hear us? Speak up a little bit.
Oh, can you hear
Speak
me
up a
now?
little bit.
Oh, let me get out of the wind. I am speaking to you today from St. Martin, the beautiful French and Dutch island. I am on the French side in Orient Bay, so enjoying my vacation, but I think they're cleaning, so I might have to go inside so you can hear me better. Is that better?
Yeah, well, thank you for taking time away from your sun and fun and beach and pool. But I wanted to let you know that we are doing something very important at PlugIntro. I put this together in 2019, and I did it for myself because I needed to meet more people and I needed to offer them something outside professional services. I didn't think that doing a good job is good enough to meet new strangers and to offer value to others. So my two problems were just that. I didn't have enough people to speak to. I did not have enough value. So we created a local business development platform for someone like yourself, who's an agent, who can host this platform in a Facebook group, and it is used to promote everyone's individual business through video interviews. So today we'll do a video interview. We'll do 1 or 2 a month. And you, of course, will want your contacts and your referral partners and the people you know locally to promote yourself. You want to let them see more about you. You have information and insight about your market, about your career, about how you can benefit others, and you want them to know more about it. Plus, there'll be a certain number of people that want to participate in the platform. They want to introduce themselves to others, and even others will wish to be the exclusive provider of their services. This is invitation only. Somebody's going to want to lock out their competition and support you. So that's really what's important. There's nothing like this. I'm really, really proud to offer this to my real estate brothers and sisters and give you an opportunity to do something that otherwise they didn't have, which is promote their business locally and give so much back to the business community. Wonderful. So, Nicole, I'm happy you got that. Would you tell us about you, about your practice, about how long you've been in the industry and how you serve clients?
Oh, well, I have been a realtor since 2016. I started off with a local brokerage in Lehigh Acres, Florida, where I moved from Miami to the West Coast. I started my career there, and so far it's been wonderful. But I found Exp Realty, and that really catapulted my business. My life, has definitely changed and been enhanced by all of the tools and training and everything that I have with EXP. Now I've moved back to Miami from the West Coast because my daughter is attending school at FIU. So we made the trek back to Miami. And so I'm restarting my business there, which is fun, but just not to, to say the least, I still am doing business in the West Coast. I'm actually doing business in Central Florida, Orlando. I mean, you name it. I actually am growing my team right now of agents. So I have agents up in the north, on the West Coast. So we're growing and we're bringing the whole world with us since EXP is in 20 plus countries. So it makes it a wonderful way to supplement your business and, like me, be on vacation in St. Martin while others are home helping you out. There's nothing better than that.
How would you say that EXP helps agents serve buyers and sellers better?
Well, I'd say EXP gives the agent the tools to serve their clients better. Obviously, giving us the platform to find properties easily, keep in touch with our clients. They'll obviously get all of their listing information in real time so that they're not missing out, because as we know, this market is a little bit crazy right now. So you have to have an agent who's on top of the game, and EXP definitely provides all the tools and every aspect that you basically need to run your business and help your clients more efficiently. So I'm
I
quite
see.
happy with that.
So tell me, the markets you serve, all you hear about is real estate, and then all you hear about is Florida real estate and the prices. And give me an idea of some of the challenges and how you're navigating those for buyers and for sellers.
Well, right now, for buyers, it's definitely been interesting, and you have to be ready for what you will encounter in this market, which is still over asking offers, possibly waiving contingencies, giving up your first child. I'm just kidding. Um,
Oh,
there's a lot that goes into it. It just depends. There are some buyer situations where the seller has needs. You might have to give a month of, rent back. Being flexible in this market is key. And as far as sellers, I mean, they are getting top dollar for their properties and with ease. Properties are going under contract sometimes before they even hit the market if you have a coming soon listing. So it's been challenging, but it's been very rewarding right now with everything that's going on. You have a lot more buyers in the market, eager and willing. And obviously, when we get the sellers, because some of them aren't as eager, because as we know, when you sell, you have to have somewhere to go. So it has to make sense for all parties. And that's what I am here to help navigate is, showing you the right way to make the most of your profit and get the best house you possibly can when you're buying.
interesting. That's really compelling. I know that the mortgage market has changed quite a bit with rates and underwriting. Have you experienced any kind of challenges with regard to lending and people who were approved and now maybe not, and how that affects their offers?
Well, what I'm seeing is, even for myself personally, I am trying to purchase a home, and yeah, the interest rate is definitely key. It's been a challenge to find a property that you can afford, given the price of the home is higher, the interest is higher. It's becoming more of a challenge. But again, you have to find your footing, what works best for you so that you can get in Miami versus Southwest Florida, different markets, but it's still very hot on both, angles. So it just depends what your personal situation is. I'm self-employed, a little bit of a different scenario, but I do have buyers who are going conventional. Their interest rate is, over 5% right now. It's challenging for them because they have to try to get a house that's less money. And quite frankly, that just doesn't exist right now. So I'm finding some people are pulling out at the moment just to see what happens. And I don't think any of us are fortune tellers to really know, but we do have indicators on where the market could possibly go. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be cooling off. And you just really have to be ready for what you're going to face when you're buying, and when you're selling. Seems like it's cake right now. So
Yeah, well, I think what I'm reading is there's a lag because the sellers are unwilling to necessarily reduce, and there's a disconnect despite the fact that it's a spring market where people are seeing a $400 or $500 a month difference in payment, which sometimes they can't make, sometimes they don't want to make. and sellers have not responded. But I read that there are many fewer showings because we can tell by lockbox, believe it or not. We can see how many fewer there are, and we could see how many properties are sitting on the market for days on the market. So I guess we're in a little bit of a limbo where we don't know what buyers going to do or what they can do. Sellers might have to wake up.
I think that time will be coming. I mean, it's all relative. If you're selling a not desirable property for top dollar, yes, that is going to sit. But I find the properties that are move-in ready, good to go, still getting over asking offers, and even some that are not move-in ready, they're still getting over asking because there's still investors in the market, which I think a lot of people don't realize is driving this crazy market that we have. There are plenty of investors who are selling their properties and getting out, and the other investors who are picking up and carrying on as investors, which for a person like myself who's trying to purchase a home to live in creates a little bit of a situation that we're in right now. So
yeah, and I wonder why sometimes are these sellers reluctant. I mean, this value really wasn't real in the first place. So what we're talking about before COVID to now, they experienced some theoretical value, but it really, people were willing then, they may not be willing now.
that is true. Yes. I mean, in the beginning of COVID, it was a slow go, and it was still a hot market. Over asking, getting a VA loan accepted was, unheard of, but I had about 4 of them accepted. So it's it was relative to the low interest rate then. Now that the rates are higher, yes, buyers are reluctant to put an extra 10,000 on top because that equates to a couple of $100, in monthly mortgage, which most people can't afford. The pay isn't going up with the price of our inflation on
Not at
anything.
all. Well, really, if you look, I wonder what it's going to look like in January 2023 when the final 2/3 of this year go by. So this is a critical time where we're looking at things that are far outside our control: interest rates, inflation. I think there's going to be an adjustment. I think that people are going to be, in some cases, there may not be an adjustment because if there are fewer people that can afford a house, sellers may just hold out for those people that can.
And I think we'll see a lot of that as well. I think they've definitely gotten a taste for blood and they'll wait for their next kill to come in to get it. So hopefully reality hits and they'll see that, they can still win without hurting the little guy. So
right. Well, I think tell me about your history with networking and how you given and gain referrals and introductions. What's your usual practice?
Just being my wonderful self. I find a lot of referrals on social media, mostly in the groups and friends that I know. Personally, when I first joined EXP, I got a call from a wonderful lady in California, and she said, "Hey, I have clients coming to Fort Myers. Can you help them?" Absolutely. I had really no idea what it was until I got the clients, and they were absolutely wonderful. And that, just really set the game up for me with EXP. It was a higher priced house, wonderful people. We're friends till today. So
when you say social media,
referrals.
What do you mean by social media? Where did you post that, and what did you post, and what were people attracted to?
Well, I personally didn't post anything. Others were posting at that time. Now that I have a team going, I do a little bit more posting. That I'll just post that I am part of a global team, and we're here to help your clients anywhere in the world, especially here in Florida where I'm located. I am also a certified mentor with EXP. So for that, I just like helping people and making sure that if I'm not personally involved in the deal because I'm not licensed in that state, whoever the referral is, I still keep in contact and try to guide them, with moral support throughout the process because
I see.
it's a process.
When you say social media, what a platform or site?
Facebook, Instagram. Instagram, I post more and I'll get messages from people looking to, either buy or sell here, but mostly Facebook in different groups, either real estate, professional groups, or there are groups where, people are moving to and from places. So,
So are you
and
posting properties or information about yourself?
information about myself. In local groups, I'll post local properties for people to look at, and then they can, get in contact with me through my site. And so it fills up your pipeline when you're using your EXP links to have people look at your site.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you're doing that, and I wanted to introduce you a little bit more deeply into what PlugIntro has for you or your users or your fellow EXP current or future members. I know that social media is a place where you post, but my problem with social media is the post is just not enough. It's only 2 inches and it dies at midnight, and your competition sees it, and you're not sharing with anyone really directly. You have clients and contacts and referral partners that can know more about your properties and yourself. That's why PlugIntro exists, because we slice off a piece of Facebook and allow your Instagram posts and anything to go inside a platform where it's just yours. The platform is PlugIntro Merigelli, and they'll be the only realtor there. And the people that you invite will have the opportunity to introduce themselves to whoever is there and to be the only provider of their services. So I know that posting, and I've done it too, attracts attention. But if you really give others the chance to gain and benefit from something you founded and hosted, I think that it earns attention. They may appreciate what you've done and what you've created for them to enter and meet your people. For instance, you may not know, I have 450 people in my local county area who I've offered the place to promote their business and introduce themselves, and they've gained quite a bit over the last year and a half. And I have another group that's smaller, that about 22, 24 people that wish to be the one and only plumber, the one and only electrician, the one and only attorney or accountant or dentist or chiropractor. Plus, of course, the people in the real estate industry, like your preferred vendors, would want to be and would jump at the chance to be the one and only provider with you, because you are a producing important real estate broker. So that's really
to work with.
Yeah, well, that's what we offer, and I think that is a real compliment to the EXP agent, because they then have the opportunity to share that with others. And whether they're in their system or outside their system, it's a great way to build goodwill and spread the word that you are someone of a resource and a real local leader and tied to the business community. And I think that's a great niche.
Absolutely. I used to do something similar back in the day with real estate and folders, advertising your preferred vendor on the folder that you would give to your clients. So this is the digital version.
Yeah, it's funny. I did that too, but I spent the folders were the way, but the folders, here's the problem with folders. No one takes their folder and passes it to their friends. They use it themselves. It's a direct from you, the provider, to the consumer, the client. However, no one says, oh my goodness, here's my folder for 24 hours a day, and I'm going to have all the people in my neighborhood see this folder. No one did that.
Exactly.
So now we have a digital version, and I'm glad you said that, because now proudly we are able to feature you and the exclusive service providers in your group. And it is not a folder. It's a digital position.
Mhm.
And in this day and age, between everyone's schedule and still our obligations to life, plus we've been taught through EXP and through COVID that business can be done online to save yourself the time and maximize your daily opportunities. If you're not giving away a digital position like you are here, you're giving information, giving others the chance to promote themselves. I say, what are you doing? You're missing a huge opportunity to reach not only your contacts, but the people they know.
Exactly.
So you're meeting new people constantly through the power of loose connections. I'm sure you and I must have how many EXP Facebook friends?
A lot.
A lot. And I think these things should be fun. You know, if an agent takes the opportunity to really, really claim the community they're in and benefit the local business owners. We have agents that are doing 2 and 3 videos a month. They're sharing them, and the people then are grabbing them and saying, listen, here's what I learned. And then I want a video too. And everyone thanks you. So that's fun. And people have really gained. We're looking for, of course, different areas. And I don't know if is your team primarily in Florida or everywhere?
We are growing a global team, so I have a few members in Florida now. Wendy Mays just joined us in San Diego, California. So I have Washington State, Georgia's coming aboard. I have some getting ready to get on board, so we're growing right now. So anything you need outside of what I already have, I still have you covered with my referral network and through EXP and others, because I do business with others who aren't with EXP as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think.
And what about the people in the day-to-day grind? I mean, of course, you have your lenders and title company and home inspectors that you work with.
Yes.
Tell me about the relationships with each of them. How does that work?
I normally will give my clients a few choices. I've made a few vendor partners that I really enjoy working with. I usually let them know I have a client coming over to you, and they make their choice, and then everyone's happy usually. So
Yeah, that's important. But I'm an old-fashioned real estate broker. I've never done anything else, but I really wonder, and this is just you and I talking, but people will listen, so maybe they should take note, that it's a bit unfair that the realtor is usually the person who meets the client first and gives the most referrals. There's no question the realtor gives the most.
That's right.
And I really think that there's a chance now through PlugIntro to even that up a bit, because you may not get that many referrals from lenders or title companies, but they have contacts and they have their own base of their sphere who they can at the very least introduce to you by bringing them into your platform.
Exactly.
Now, what do you think of this, which I've been saying every interview now? You've given many referrals out to banks over the time, right? Those banks did how many refinances in the last 2 years?
Plenty.
How many have introduced you to those homeowners?
None.
Now that's not fair, because those people are homeowners. Even if they're not selling, they have friends that are.
Yeah.
They're also a group of people who would probably welcome learning what's going on in their market. And really, why not sell if you're them? Because you just pulled the equity out of your house. So you took the money and ran, if you're a refi person, and now you probably need that money for your next purchase. Your house is no longer an asset. It's really just a place to live, which we know that that's important for holidays and birthdays and family and growing people up. So I specifically pick on lenders and I say, and title companies, you did so many deals without Nicole, but she's referred you so much. Could you just introduce Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Ma and Pa Kettle, just an introduction. She's a pro. She'll take it from there. No pressure. And I bet you that the people would be happy to learn more about where they just refied or what's possible or what's, I think they would appreciate. So the lender, I say, I've had whole days on this. You'd be pleasing both the realtor and the homeowner. I mean, what do you think of that?
I think that's wonderful. And I build relationships with my vendors that I would hope when they have the opportunity to introduce me that they would. And I have one that has been helpful in that arena and sending clients my way, which is kind of unheard of. Lenders don't typically send realtors anything, and definitely title companies, they're at the end of the transaction. So at that point, they don't have control. But
Mm-hmm.
as you're mentioning, they do have control.
They do have control. And if they don't have control, at least they have connection to them.
Exactly.
So does a home inspector. So does a home insurance. Now think about this. All you hear about is the insurance company going crazy in Florida with the roof thing, the 20-year roof thing.
Yeah.
So here's how we could help each other. I'm sure you have insurance people that would like to speak more on that topic.
I sure do.
And I don't know anyone in that part of Florida that might do that. So it makes a lot of sense, I think, for you to offer them that opportunity to speak more about what's going on in their industry. And those people we then lean on and say, hey, listen, Nicole did you a real big favor. She gave you a place that you didn't have yesterday to promote your business. You're making these video interviews and you're sharing it in something that is local and safe and powerful. So that's really the point. That's really what's interesting. And you now have that opportunity, which, listen, I think these are the things that are needed. If we have a changing market and we're no longer going to be order takers, I think we need to get a little bit creative and do some really mutually reciprocal, take some of those steps and make some efforts that benefit us all.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, you have it. This is your opportunity. You know, this is a great opportunity now to let people know more about what you do and who you work with and who you can feature, because I think it's a great idea to shine the spotlight on others and let people know that there may be a day that they don't have to make over asking offers, and maybe sellers are not going to get multiple offers.
It would be nice to have that a little bit of normalcy in that arena. Just I truly feel for the people who are looking for a home to live in, because it is a struggle. And not just people who are looking to relocate to Florida, more of the people who are already here who are having a hard time. I look forward to being able to give them something to look forward to, because right now they feel a lot of despair. So I hope that soon we'll be heading in a different direction for everyone's good, and not, in a negative recession time. Just everything wonderful and happy, and everyone could live life and not be in a burdened situation for something as simple as a place to live. I
Good
think it's
point.
a basic right to have a place to live and not have to pay someone else's mortgage or have them profit. I mean, I'm all for the investor. I work with a lot of them and I make them a lot of money, but again, people really are looking to have that American dream. Home ownership is, the key to generational wealth, and that's why it's so important for me to purchase a home. I have a 18, almost 19-year-old daughter, and for me the most important thing is to give her her own home, because I won't be here forever, but at least if I happen to leave, she has something for herself. And to me, everyone should be focused on that for their family, because I have watched year after year selling people's homes, the profit they make. Sure, there's expenses and things, but the same way you make your vacation happen or your new car or the expensive clothes you wear, the basic right of home ownership, you need to, be prioritizing over any of those things. So, oh,
I'm here. Sorry about that. Yeah,
oh,
somehow I got muted. Yeah, that's. I think that's so important, and it's, as we know, the tax deduction and the opportunity to gain appreciation, and I think we've all experienced, or for our clients on our own, the capital gains tax exemption. And if people are paying capital gains, that's a nice problem. That means if they're married, they're made $500,000. So I heard someone crying about it, and I said, boo-hoo to you. You just got businesses don't make $500,000 profit without tax, but homeowners do. And sometimes that takes a decade or so to get up to that point.
and that's okay, because in a decade, you wouldn't make, well, you could make that, but you'll still spend it on living. So it's
Right.
not going to be sitting
It's
in the
gonna be
bank
tough
waiting for you.
It's going to be tough to set it aside. You're right. Well, I mean, listen, I used to tell a paralegal of mine that we are number two, because we can only take care of the number two most important things in people's lives. And those are your money and your home. The number one is your family and your health. We can't touch. We can't help anyone with those important things. But number two, we can. We can be important to their home. We can be important to their wealth, depending on how they buy, how they sell. And that's where they really need. And, one more thing I want to touch on, I keep asking you about your referral partners, is we all should realize that there are so many circumstances outside our control. And I think that trust, like you have with your providers and your clients and your referral partners and your vendors, is under attack. And Zillow was made 15 or more years ago to bring people to agents without being referred to agents. It's just, you're on your phone, you meet an agent. Mm-hmm. Before, you needed your neighbor to refer an agent. Now you can go right to an agent who doesn't even know about you or the house. So there's no trust. They could hit 5 realtors' faces. Right now you're on vacation, you're going to jump in the ocean, and you might meet 5 Zillow calls. But if 5 trusted referral partners said, you got to work with Nicole, she's the one for you, it wouldn't matter if you missed 5 referral calls, because you're an important provider and they trust you. Also, the venture capital and the technology has gone to banking, like Carvana and like Amazon, to make everyone buy what they want. They can get a loan without a lender now. And it's really advantageous because there's a lower margin, and all the people younger than me, which is a lot of people, are doing on their phone, everything on their phone anyway. They're buying food, they're buying clothes, they're buying electronics. The younger people and the more sophisticated people and the people with real income are sophisticated, are used to doing everything on their phone via internet and without sales pressure. So if you notice, the money and the technology is not bringing people together, it's bringing consumers to the providers. So we really have to work on our trust-based relationships. You really have to give. And someone like you or me can make an impact within the most powerful niche there is, and that is the local business community. If you're impacting the people that live there and work there and have families there and go to school there and sweep the sidewalk and care about the how the neighborhood looks as far as being clean and safe, that is something that I think is powerful, more than first-time buyers, more than any other market. So now with PlugIntro, someone like you has a chance to have others really gain from the local area.
That's wonderful. And I would love to add that no matter where I am in the world, I'm still working and I still get things done. So
yeah, well, that's where we are now with these phones and this technology. It wasn't that long ago where we were kind of chained to our desk.
That is true. I've actually been working from home for 19 years in the travel industry. I started, and I've been taking my daughter on vacation since she's like 1.5. So I've been working on vacation thanks to the invent of the internet. So I've been doing this for many years. It's nothing new to me, and I've always worked to get my clients what they need, whether it was a vacation. Now it's a home. I just put an offer in this morning or last night, and we're going to do another one today. So, again, don't have to be there, but we're getting it done. So
That's great for your clients and contacts to know you're accessible regardless of what you're doing, whether it's fun or work.
that's right. Because I'm not a salesperson. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm a service person. I provide a service to my clients, that I think is more important than having someone who says, oh, do you want to put an offer on this house, or, let me
Sure.
sell your house. If I walk into a seller's home and we discuss their personal situation and I don't find it's advantageous to them to sell their home, I'll tell them that. It's not for me to tell them, oh, you must sell your home. You're going to get a great profit. The profit they're going to make doesn't get them the next home they want. So for them right now, it doesn't make sense. And I just don't see myself ever selling anybody anything. I'll just provide you the service
Hmm.
with a smile.
And that's valuable. That's valuable. You probably heard the expression, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's right. And I definitely care about my clients, their best interests. And you said we can't help people's health, but we can help their wealth. But when you work with me, I will help your health and your wealth, because I definitely try to give people the best information that I have about health. I personally take some herbal products for the last 13 years. I haven't been sick, no cold, cough, flu, or COVID. So,
Mm,
so I will help you with your health and your wealth, because your
great.
well-being means something to me. So,
Sure. That immune system is everything in this day and age, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm really, really thankful that you came on board. And keep in mind, we're here all year. This is not a one and
Good.
done.
Good.
You and I are going to discuss the best way to gain exposure for this video and for the video interviews that your contacts will make. I promise you and the people we attract and involve a great increase in the local exposure that we all enjoy.
That's wonderful. I look
Yeah,
forward to it in our next conversation. And
sure.
pardon my squinty eyes. I have all this light in my
I
eyes,
know
and
we
I
get a
have
lot of light, and
very light eyes and light sensitivity. So
I see
I
that.
was going to put my glasses on, but
No, we want to see your face. Nicole, how do we get in touch with you? Your email, your website, your phone number?
you can reach me anytime at 305-775-3868. My website is Nikki, Nikki, Miami.com. And then my email is sold, SOLDBY, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, at gmail.com.